This is what Paolo Tonietto, Thiago Silva's agent, had to say about his client. Physically, Thiago can play for another 5 or 6 years at the highest level. He is an athlete who looks after himself. He doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't party. His life is home, work, home. And how apt it is as we welcome Steve Nicol to join us on the show, as well as Craig and Frank, whose agent I'm sure would have said exactly the same about you, Stevie, back in the day. It's the first chance, really, that we've had the opportunity to talk about Silva's move from PSG to Chelsea from you. Is this a good one, in your opinion, Stevie?
Yeah, I think it's a good one. I don't think it's outlandish, shall we say, because, you know, at the end of the day, the guy's still a good defender. He's no Virgil van Dijk, but he's a good defender, and he's better than what they have. You know, Rudiger has been so inconsistent. Kurt Zouma is okay, and for me, Christensen's been the biggest letdown. I thought he would have grown into a great centre back. So, listen, he is no question better than what they've got. So, for that reason, it has to be a good signing.
2 seconds in, Stevie brings up Liverpool. Frank, looking at it, Silva to Chelsea, this works for you?
It does, Dan. I think I could have been critical towards Thiago Silva lately because of his lack of leadership, but he is still a fantastic player. I don't know if he doesn't drink, if he doesn't party, and if he only sleeps and work. But which wasn't my case, you know. I was partying with Craig Burley, and we were drinking together, and we won trophies. So who cares about that? So the thing is still at the top. He showed it during the Champions League campaign and worked very hard. He's a very, very good player. It's hard to take on defensively, and he will fit to Chelsea, and he will help the young centre half that we have at Chelsea, but are not very consistent. So it's a good signing. Very pleased with that.
And of course, Craig, he's playing in front of we don't quite know who at the moment. According to Petr Cech, Kepa is still their man at Chelsea, but I suppose he's inevitably going to say that. If someone came in with a big offer, they would certainly let the Spaniard go. How much of an issue is this? Doesn't matter who they've got playing in front of him. The fact that you've got either Kepa or Willy Caballero, two goalkeepers that you wouldn't necessarily think are of the standard that Chelsea would want.
Yeah, that graphic should say nobody has given up on Kepa yet, apart from Frank Lampard and Jody Morris, who, by the way, picked the team. You know, at the end of the day, though, you know, they might not be able to shuffle the goalkeeper situation around, and one of those two is going to have to start the season. We know Caballero effectively is a number 2 goalkeeper, but you know, it wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibilities that he actually starts the season. I think that's the disdain that Frank Lampard, it seems, holds Kepa in. However, getting an experienced defender in front would certainly help the situation, and that's clearly what Thiago Silva is. Short term, this is a no-brainer for Chelsea. Come in, fill a gap, can organise, is still fit, and he's a short-term issue. But please, spare me the BS of another 5 or 6 years. Because if his agent wants to go out and find me and pick me out and spot me and take a picture of a 41-year-old player playing in the top levels, top leagues around Europe, go and find me that guy.
Frank, how concerned would you be going into the start of this new season with Kepa, but in that Chelsea goal?
It's a problem. It's a real problem, and he was very inconsistent last season, and I think he has to go. The fans, the coach have lost confidence about his performances, and maybe the centre halves also felt the pressure. When you centre half, when you're fullback, you need to have a comfortable presence behind you, where you know that if you're in danger, the guy's going to be behind you, saving you, which wasn't the case last season. So yeah, I think he has to go, but they have to find another one. It was very important for Paris Saint-Germain, for example, when Thiago Silva was playing, that Areola or some others, they couldn't fit with the club level. And since Navas came to Paris Saint-Germain, we saw better defenders. saw Kimpembe feeling better. We saw Thiago Silva feeling better, but also on the side with Bernat and others. So it's crucial for Chelsea to find a solution.
Chelsea spent more money than anybody else so far this summer, Stevie. Yep. Can they close the gap on City and Liverpool at the top of the table without upgrading their goalkeeper?
No, I don't think so. Listen, I thought again I'm going to mention Liverpool, but if you look at the difference Alisson made, if you look at the difference Ederson made to a City side that was already way better than what Chelsea are right now, so no, they can't win the biggest honours without a proper goalkeeper, and you kind of wonder how are they going to get one, because they can't go out and spend a lot of money on a goalie the way they did for Kepa. And you have to think that this is down to Kepa. He must have a horrible attitude, because there's no question, as far as ability as a goalkeeper, he's way ahead of Caballero. So this guy must have a rotten personality. Clearly Frank isn't putting up with it, and that's why Caballero's playing. So unfortunately for Chelsea, you ain't challenging at the very highest level if you don't have a good goalkeeper.
I still think Nick Pope at Burnley is one of the best out there. And I don't know what the scenario is with Burnley in terms of the fee that he would they would want for him. Of course, they don't want to sell him, but I do think come the Euros 2021 or Euro 2020, whatever you call it, it'll be next year. I do get a feeling if he continues the way it was last year, Jordan Pickford won't be England #1, or I'll be surprised if he was England #1 come the Euros. That's how well Pope played, and that's been noticed. And I don't know if Lampard likes him, but for me, that would be a much better scenario than Kepa starting the season. But it's going to come down to money. Look, the Chelsea board I believe, were in a bit of a arm wrestle with Lampard a few months ago, saying no, we got to. And this is going back to what Peter Cech's been trying to say, but I think it's gone too far with the manager. But at the time, Lampard, I think, was adamant, I need him out. And I think the arm wrestle was because 1, wages, and 2, transfer fee. Because they know and they knew at the time they're never going to recover that. And I think there was a big fight to try and get Lampard to change his mind. And in some sense, he buckled a little bit and he played badly. And so I think Lampard just absolutely made his mind up and said, no, listen, I need to absolutely convince the board that we can't get to where we want to go with this guy as a #1. The problem is somebody has to pay the big bucks for him. So there's a real game of cat and mouse here between not only Lampard and his owners, but his owners and other clubs.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.